Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to take a viewer suggestion and talk to you guys about two places. One is Zombie Road in Missouri, and the other one is the Old Alton Bridge or Goatman's Bridge in Denton, Texas.
Zombie Road is located in St. Louis County, Missouri. In the city of Wildwood, there is a series of trails that cover an old road that is recognized as one of the most haunted roads in America. Zombie Road was built in the second half of the 19th century as a way to access the Merrimack River and the railroad tracks running along it. The first rumors of it being haunted started in the 1950s. According to some of the local legends, Zombie Road is full of spirits of Native Americans, Confederate soldiers, and many more lost souls. Locals say that a man that was killed in a train collision is said to be out looking for revenge and will chase young lovers parked on the road, and they refer to him as the zombie killer. There have also been people who have reported seeing strange lights and spirits of dead children. In the 1960s, a young couple was on the top of the bluffs. The male lost his footing, and during the fall, he caught his face in a fork of a small tree growing out of the bluff. His face and scalp remained while he fell to his death on the road below. There have also been a lot of suicides reported there as well. In the 1970s, a hunter came across a car at the end of the road that had a hose running from the exhaust pipe to the inside of the car, and the driver was slumped over. And some investigators have also reported human-sized shadow figures and unexplainable voices, and also being touched.
Isn't there also a lady that haunts it?
About the train, one article said it was a lady, and then this one says it's a man.
Yeah, I remember reading that it was a train. Maybe she died with the man in the train collision, but not quite sure.
I don't
Um,
know.
but I did read a story
I know what you're talking
associated
about because I remember
with
it now.
that she's associated with the light that you see. Like the
Oh, I didn't
light
see
is
that.
her, and then the zombie killer dude is somebody else. But I mean, it makes sense that you may get multiple hauntings out of something that would be that tragic because then trains were like cars. That's how people traveled. So there'd be a
Right.
lot of people on that train. I don't think that you're gonna find me hanging out on Zombie Road. I don't really want to meet a zombie killer for
No,
one.
but I did look up the pictures, which I will add in this video, and the place looks really creepy. Like, not gonna lie, it looks hella creepy.
There's also, I do believe, a portion of it that was like they tried to make like an amusement camping type place, and now it's abandoned, and that part of it's like hella creepy. And there's a lot of Native American ghost sightings in that area.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I read on it is it's a not just the road. It's like the road and everything around
Right.
it.
Yeah, the pictures are creepy. Like hella creepy. It's literally like a dirt road trail, narrow thing that's like going down through dense woods.
With like railroad tracks that branch off and go
Yeah,
into.
and there's some railroad tracks right here, which actually kind of looks like the Goatman's Bridge.
Right. There where there's a bridge at and there's like railroad tracks going under the or on the bridge, it did look a lot like Goatman's Bridge, which is in Denton, Texas. So what's going on with Goatman's Bridge, or its real name is Old Alton Bridge, is there's two legends associated with this bridge. Both are pretty similar, but the first one is that there was a man named Jack Kendall that was a goat herder, supposedly was killed by local cowboys on the bridge. And the legend goes that Kendall's body was reanimated through voodoo and his head was replaced with a goat head. The second legend is that there was an African American man named Oscar Washburn that had settled in the area. He raised goats and was selling them and was very successful in the area doing so. And most of the community was supportive of it and, bought his goats and his products and was all, yay, go Oscar. But some local KKK members were not so amused by Oscar's success, and Washburn had posted a sign on the bridge that said this way to the goat man. And, because to let his customers know where to find him. The legend goes that they unended him in the common way that would have been an unending of a African American person in those days. The legend is that when they put him over the bridge in that manner, that his body disappeared. And the sightings that are said to be seen of the goat man is either a man with a goat head or a man carrying two goat heads, one in each hand. What made this creepy to me is how one legend kind of seamlessly goes into the other, like it's probably both. The way the story was playing out in my mind as I'm putting the legends together, just like, the movie reel that's going on in my head, is that when Washburn went over the side of the bridge, that that Kendall in his voodoo reanimated state took him, did the same voodoo to him, and now there's two Goatmans. But that's just, like I said, with the movie, how my brain connected the stories. But when people go out there, that's what they say they see is either a man with the head of a goat or a man carrying two goat heads.
I've never heard of the version of the carrying the two heads.
Supposedly, what's heard is inhuman screams coming from the woods or the bridge itself, or hearing a maniacal laughter. Supposedly, if you go on Halloween and you honk your horn twice, you'll see the fiery red eyes of the goat man. And that was another thing that differed. It was in some stories the eyes were red, in some stories the eyes were just glowing, like glowing white orbs. But there has been disappearances. There has been um, and disappearances as you'll see a car on the bridge and go there and the car's running and nobody's in it and there's no owner anywhere to be found. So people coming up strangely missing, and the only thing they find is their abandoned cars. There has been a lot of YouTubers that have went out there and done investigations, and one that I read that was quite funny. It was a very well-known ghost hunter that has a show on the Travel Channel. Went out there and they were filming a reenactment of the uh, Ku Klux Klan involvement of the legend, and it upset the locals so much that they called the police and reported a Klan meeting rally
Oh my
on the
gosh,
bridge.
really?
And it was just it was a reenactment that they were filming for a ghost hunting show, which I found that to be kind of hilarious. That you would think that they would have, especially doing that, they would have alerted the community. But yeah, the bridge, it's looked pretty dilapidated. I mean, I wouldn't recommend driving on it, but there are lots of people that go out there every year, especially on Halloween, of course, and try to experience something on the Goatman Bridge. And I guess there's a lot of YouTubers that have done it and have caught like shadows or strange lights, strange sounds. But I would
Mm-hmm.
imagine just with Texas's history that there's a lot of residual stuff that would replay
Right.
over and
Because I
over
believe
again.
it's wooded around there too.
Yes, it's over a river, of course. It's a bridge and
Because
it's
some of the
wooded.
YouTubers I remember seeing, they were walking, like they walked away from the bridge and then was, exploring the area, and it looked pretty wooded.
Overhead shot of it, I mean, it looks like there may be a clearing like on one side of it, but it's pretty forested and the river looks pretty far down underneath the bridge. I mean, I wouldn't be hanging out and playing on that bridge. there's a danger in just the fact that the bridge is old and not maintained, that you probably shouldn't go out there and do it, but
Yeah, I think people do it all the time though. But they also, there was somebody I've watched, a YouTuber, they went out there on the eclipse that we had. I can't remember, it was quite a few years ago. But they all went out and did a Ouija board session on the Goatman's Bridge during the eclipse.
did they get anything?
I got some creepy stuff on the Ouija board.
You and I both know that if there's people touching it, it can be manipulated. So,
True.
and I've seen them move and not being touched, so I know it's a possibility. The other thing that's, makes this a legend and not, like a true story type thing is there's no definitive records of Washburn or Kendall. There's no birth certificates, there's no death certificates, there's no land ownership contracts, nothing. Just this is local lore that what happened out there. Some people believe that Satanists have performed dark rituals on the bridge and opened some sort of portal to another dimension, and that's why you hear the inhuman screams and see the inhuman forms that are out there. But
That is
the,
creepy.
it's one of those two-sided things. Like one part of me would be like, I want to go.
Yeah, but aren't like all of them, all the places that sound like there would be some good activity, you're like, do I really, do I really, really want to do this?
Right, it's that thing of, do I really want to know for sure? that fuck around and find out.
Do I want to shit my pants today or not?
Because I'd probably have a fucking heart attack if, like, I really did see a dude carrying two goat heads or like a head.
I would be like, what the fuck? Like, I did not just see that.
I may be the dumb bitch in the horror movie that's got her head cocked and walking towards it. Like, what are you?
You would. I can see it now. You can get us all unalived.
Jolene, what's that? Bitch, get over here!
I don't give a fuck what that is. It can stay over there, away from me.
But yeah, it definitely looks, and on the other side of the coin of that is, it does look like a place that you would get a lot of really good paranormal activity and be able to maybe capture some evidence, but a lot of those places don't. You go there and
it's by water. Water's supposed to help.
There's also a cemetery right down or close to it because
I didn't know that.
Alton was a community, and the money-making aspects of the community moved to the north, I do believe it was. Not like north as in Yankee North, but like just north of the town. And so the bridge was no longer needed, but was still, there for access over the water. But it was a community at one time. It wasn't a dead area. So there's a church there. There's a cemetery there. There's still remnants of life around the bridge that could host or be reasons for paranormal activity. But I think two dudes tossed over the bridge and unalived is that's probably where that paranormal activity is coming from.
Right. Or if people actually did do rituals or something there and like summoned some shit.
That, and there's the whole I don't know how to say this correctly, but the whole belief system that whatever energy you put out, it goes out and it could stay there. So if there was a faction of the KKK, that's a whole lot of fucking negative energy.
Right.
That's a whole lot of ignorance. Having all that if there was, like, if they felt that was their area and maybe they were the ones out there holding rituals and performing their whatever the fuck they do, I don't know, I'm not even gonna pretend to know. Whatever they do, that's still hosting a lot of negativity that would be spread throughout the surrounding areas.
Right.
So you have negative energy anyway, and then negative things are going to happen from negative energy and going to kind of hold it there. And I think kind of like that's my my theory on like all the Civil War battlegrounds too. Like all that negativity and hostility is just trapped there, and that's why there's so many residual hauntings on um like Confederate battlefields or
Hmm.
Civil War battlefields, is because it's a whole lot of a whole lot of hate trapped in one area.
Right. A lot of traumatic energy.
Right. And then you have, because of that hate that's already there, that negativity that was already in the area and in the air, then you have this horrific battle scene that happens. And we're not talking now where you push a button and fire a gun, 30,000 miles away. You're right up on each other, killing each other. So that's horrific.
Yeah.
And I think it would be the same type of idea with Zombie Road and the Alton Bridge. Is there's already in Missouri, historically, you've got to think what was going on in Missouri around the 1800s. Um, we were just starting to push west. So we're encroaching in native territory and quite literally stomping through people's living rooms like we just fucking own it, building railroads and making settlements. So we're disrupting the energy that's already there and creating this negative energy. And then something horrific happens, like that train crash. Now you have even more energy and traumatic energy stuck in negative energies. And then you're creating it. It's still going to be felt,
Hmm.
but now we're getting into a whole other realm of conversation about energy stuck and how energy works and things like that. But I think that that's something that's dismissed and with critics or people that don't believe in paranormal things, is energy is a very much sought after and studied subject in science, and then we seem to tend to dismiss it when it's put right in our face and a real and where you're feeling it and it's affecting you. Well, if it can power your house, and you can't tell me you've never felt a power surge in your house. You do. You get a little static electricity in your arms, your hair sticks up a little bit. So why is it so far-fetched that walking in the woods where there's energy trapped by circumstance or history, that you think you should dismiss it because it's not transformer generated, I guess. You I think that that's just crazy that that's dismissed, that because you can't see where it's coming from, or that it's not real.
Yeah, that's just silly.
I don't know. You want to go walk on some bridges? Want to take a trip to Texas?
Hell no, it's hot there.
Well, Texas has a winter time too. I mean, it's not gonna be like Michigan winter time or
That's true.
Tennessee
I
winter
guess these
time.
people probably went in the summertime, but.
Yeah, I wouldn't be that dumb. It's like I'm not gonna go to Arizona in July. My fat ass would melt, but in Missouri, I think that they're kind of like Michigan. They have snowy in summer. I don't really know. I don't know much about Missouri.
I don't either. My sister has family that lives, or used to have family anyways, that lived there. But I've never went there myself, so I have no idea.
I have in-laws that live in Missouri, but never been there. Still don't know much about it.
If you like this video, please give us a like, share, and a follow. And until next time, everybody, bye.